and you can do the things that scare you because you're not afraid to feel the fear. That is how you get to freedom. That's how you create peace. Peace isn't something that you force. Hey guys, my name is Mac. This is the Game of Love. And in today's video, I want to talk about probably the most important part of this journey of freeing yourself, of changing who you are from the inside out, going from living in a constant mild to severe state of fight or flight, of worry, of anxiety, to a life of freedom, of a life that you can be proud of. And so in my previous videos, I've laid down a lot of the groundwork, a lot of the foundational stuff, and given a lot of information that is crucial to know before you can get to the point, before the rubber can hit the road and you can really do this work in real time. But what I'm going to be talking about today in this video is going to be probably the most transformative part of this entire process. It's going to be the thing that actually really changes who you are, how you think, and how you feel on a moment-to-moment basis. Because that's what we're after, right? I would assume, or I would assert, that what everyone wants is to feel safe, to feel seen, to feel heard, to feel loved, to feel free. And to be at peace for the rest of your life. And that's absolutely obtainable. That's 100% obtainable. And you can do it now. The only issue is that most of us don't live that way currently. And so we need to learn how to go from point A to point B. And that's what this entire channel is about. That's why I call this channel the Game of Love. Because to me, it works a lot like that, like a game, like a journey, and there are different levels to this understanding until you finally get to a point where it all clicks, and then internally you have found in yourself this well of peace and love that you don't need to look anywhere in your external environment for. You don't need to look anywhere in your external environment for anything anymore. You're totally satiated and content with the way that everything is, and that's what peace is to me. And so the previous videos, like I said, I've talked about kind of how we can start the beginning processes of that transformation, and how we can use things like meditation as a vehicle to get us to this next version of ourselves, this next version of being someone who is full of light and love and peace, and brings that to the world. And so I want to go over a couple of the really important foundational parts of this puzzle, just really quick if you haven't checked out my last videos, and then we'll dive right into the method to use in real time to get you to make that transformation. So the first bit that is very important to understand is that most of our thinking, it's estimated that 95 plus percentage of our thinking is not being created by us. It's being created by our subconscious mind. And I've talked about what the subconscious mind is. It is a place where all of our beliefs about the world, about ourselves, all of our identities exist. And it is made up of programs, is a good way to look at it, because when you can look at your beliefs, your thought patterns and such as programs, then you can look at them in a way, it gives you a little bit of space so that you know that there's room to change those programs, right? And so much of who we are is kind of almost a natural unfolding of where we were placed, born, what time period, what country, what financial situation, how old, how developed our parents were, what kind of schools we went to, the circumstances and situations that we were put in throughout our lives all make imprints on us, and it's stored in our subconscious mind, and that creates our thinking. And most people believe their thinking to be the truth, the absolute truth, and they identify with their thinking. So when a thought pops up in your head, you don't question it. You say, this is me. I made the thought. I'm the one thinking it. And you feel however that thought would make you feel. The second big piece that needs to be understood is that your thinking and your feeling are completely tied together. You cannot think greater than you feel, and you cannot feel greater than you think. However, that second bit is actually what I've come to learn is the best way to change the way that you think, because to me, it seems as though the feeling is the thing that is creating your thinking. So feeling comes first, thoughts bubble up after. And so in my previous videos, I've talked about meditation as being the vehicle to start changing your emotional thermostat. Because if you can teach yourself and train yourself to feel more love, to feel more peace, to feel more joy, to feel more compassion, more gratitude, all of the positive emotions, more often than you feel the negative emotions, then your brain will start doing it for you without any conscious effort. And the best way that I've found to do that work is to meditate, to sit down, watch your thoughts, understand that you're not creating them, find that space and that presence and that quiet where you can just observe everything that's happening. And then you can also use meditation to visualize who it is that you want to be. Visualize yourself going after your dreams. Visualize yourself being the person that you want to be. But most important, feel the way that that person would need to feel to create that life. And that is how you change your emotional thermostat. That's the groundwork. And this next piece is the most transformative piece. It's the thing that's going to change your brain the most, and your heart the most, because you will have to embody that version of yourself. And so the reason why any of us aren't already that loving, compassionate, grateful, ideal version of ourselves in every second of every day, the reason why we're not free is because our subconscious mind is holding on to so much baggage, so much negative. There's energy in us that is blocked, that we've been too scared to look at, too scared to deal with. And this is honestly why a lot of people are afraid of meditation. When they say, I can't meditate because I can't silence my thoughts, or my thoughts just keep coming, or I don't want to sit alone with myself because I'm afraid of what my mind might tell me. And this right here is why, is because inside of us, we have so much energy that we have been neglecting. There's aspects of who we are that we don't want to look at. And so the way out is through. And this is where a lot of people quit on this journey, because everything else I've described has been easy. Sitting down and envisioning and practicing feeling good, envisioning who you want to be, practicing feeling good, and relaxing is the easiest part of this work. The hard part of this work is actually choosing to be that your highest self, your idealized version of yourself in real time. So the work is to go about our lives, and then when something triggers us, when negative energies come up within us and show themselves, we don't look away. We don't try to avoid it. We don't try to numb it. We sit with ourselves, and we sit with that negative emotion. This is what the path of surrender, of letting go, and of acceptance is all about. So we sit with the anger, we sit with the resentment, with the fear, with the shame, with the frustration, with the anxiety, and we don't question it. We don't try to get rid of it. We don't try to avoid it. We get real curious and lean into the feeling and just feel it. That's what our negative emotions have been asking of us this entire time. They've been wanting, I mean, think of it like as if it was a wounded part of you, or a aspect of you that is hurt. And anyone on this planet just wants to be loved, to be held, to be seen. All of the hurt parts of ourselves also want that same thing. So when jealousy arises in you, when anger, when any of those things arise in you, you just you accept it. You say, okay. You drop back into that space, you unmerge, right? You find that space, that space that you have become so accustomed to being in your meditations. You bring that up right now when you become triggered. You let go of your narrative of who you think you are, where you think you are. You let go of anything. Drop all of your labels and get into your body and feel. And don't try to feel because you feel like you need to get rid of this thing. Feel it. Just feel it to feel it. Get curious about it and feel it fully. Lean into the feeling. Because what's going to happen is, after you lean into that feeling, you're going to realize that it's not that painful. That it's just a sensation and it passes. Everything in this life passes. Nothing lasts forever. No feeling lasts forever. No thought lasts forever. Our negative emotions tend to keep coming back over and over again, but that is because we don't ever digest them. That's what this is doing. When you surrender, that's letting go of the narrative, that's letting go of your concepts, of your story, letting go of everything and dropping into your body and feeling it. That's the surrender. The acceptance is the same thing, but you're accepting everything that you feel with open arms, with an open heart, with love, which at this point, hopefully you have done the work to sit down and to cultivate that within yourself. Because I know that I had to do a lot of work doing that. I didn't have the ability to have that much space within me to have an open heart. And so the first foundational part of this is really important for that. But you know, a real life situation happens to you that triggers you, that makes you upset, or you know, and you feel it fully. You let it dissolve. You digest it, and what happens is that doing that, you feel lighter afterwards, and a little piece of that stuck energy is gone for good. It will never come back. And maybe in the one instance, you don't heal your everything in that 1 second. But if you do this every single time, eventually your brain and your body will be free of that negative energy. And then it no longer comes up. And you're not afraid of anything. You're not afraid of the way that you feel on the inside ever again. So you can sit with your fear, and you can do the things that scare you because you're not afraid to feel the fear. That is how you get to freedom. That's how you create peace. Peace isn't something that you force. Peace is saying that I'm okay with the way that everything is all the time. And if you want true everlasting peace, then you have to keep your heart open all the time. You have to keep that space. You have to stay unmerged all the time. And just like going to the gym and building muscle, it takes practice, it takes repetition. But eventually, at one point, you wake up and you realize, wow, it's really paid off. And the same is true when it comes to this work. So do the meditations every day, journal every day, think about who you want to be, cultivate those elevated emotions, and then do the work in real time. Your partner says something that gets under your skin, your coworker, your boss, something doesn't go the way that you had expected it to go. You fail, you embarrass yourself. Or you decide that you want to start following your dreams, but you realize that every step toward them, there's so much fear, and that's the whole reason why you haven't been able to achieve your goals and your dreams thus far. But once you start to open your heart and leave it open constantly, and make that your life's mission. I mean, I've said once that this gets to be really simple, and I got a little backlash about it, but it really gets to be that simple. See, I have a life. I have kids and a job, and I'm in school, and I have so much stuff going on. I have a whole narrative. I have a whole past. I have a whole future that I want to that I want to create. But what's really cool is that the only thing that I ever have to do, and for the rest of my life, is to keep my heart open, and everything else will take care of itself. I hope that what I said made sense to you. If it resonated with you, please feel free to like, subscribe, drop a comment below. If you have any questions, you can ask them down in the comments below, or you can email me at thisgameoflove@gmail.com. I hope you guys have a beautiful day, and I'll see you in the next one.